So beautifully shot.
Yeah.
We could certainly learn a thing or two compared to the wonderful camera work that we have going on here.
They have slightly more money than us, man.
Slightly. It's an Italian film. It's not like it's not Hollywood.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Love your suit.
I can show you around.
That'd be great. Thank you. So what do you do around here?
Read books, transcribe music, swim at the river, go out at night.
Sounds fun. All right, later.
Call Me By Your Name is directed by Luca Guadagnino and stars Timothée Chalamet and Armie Hammer. Chalamet plays a 17-year-old Italian boy, while Hammer plays Oliver, a 24-year-old grad student who goes to live with Chalamet's family to study. Both get a lot of interest from the women in the community, but the biggest attraction for both of them is each other. For Oliver, it's forbidden love with a 17-year-old. For Elio, it's an awakening. Now, this movie has 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, has a Metascore of 93. The Guardian in the UK have voted it the best film of the year, so it's getting a lot of raps. High expectations. And Timmsy, did it meet your expectations?
Oh, it absolutely did meet expectations, and I got to say, I'm not usually one that goes along with the crowd. And as you said, there's a lot of buzz surrounding this film. There's a 10-minute standing ovation at the New York Film Festival.
Yeah,
recently. So
incredible. I mean, that's unprecedented.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed this film. The performances are just absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, Chalamet, who is 20, but he plays a 17-year-old. Elio would have to be in Oscar nomination territory here. Yeah.
He's got I think he got the Golden Globe nomination, so hopefully he does get it, because, I mean, he is outstanding in the film, particularly in the third act.
Yes.
The last 15 minutes of the film, he just completely owns.
Yeah, and he's not alone. I mean, Armie Hammer is a guy that's got a bit of a hit and miss career.
Good in Social Network, I guess.
Great, yeah, absolutely. And even in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., I thought he was pretty good.
Yep.
As a Russian stereotype. But in this movie, there's what I was worried about, and I do worry about sometimes with gay love stories involving men, is that sometimes they won't find that tenderness in a love story.
Yep.
But the performance from Chalamet and Hammer is just, the chemistry is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. They're great on their own, but you're right, the chemistry when they come together, they just really own, the movie. And what I love is the fact that the chemistry is immediate. You don't really need a lot of dialogue, and that's really some of my favorite scenes in the film, where there is no dialogue. It's just them, expressing, their thoughts and emotions.
Just hanging out.
Just hanging out, man. Yeah.
And a very special mention to Michael Stuhlbarg, who is a great character actor, and he always enhances whatever film he's in.
Yeah.
And he plays the father of Elio, who is a professor. And he absolutely steals the movie in the third act. I can't ruin it for anybody, of course. But
that scene, man, yeah. I did not expect that scene, to have that much weight. I thought the scene was going to come, but it just really knocks you off your feet at just how good it is. I think it's one of the best father-son sort of exchanges ever captured on film, for me personally.
That's a huge call, and I'll tell you what, it's not a bad one. The cinematography is beautiful in the sense that it's actually very much like what we've got here. Like, it's a camera there looking at Stahlberg. There's a camera there looking at Chalamet.
Yeah.
Right? And he just goes into this zone for about a minute there where the camera doesn't move.
Yep.
I think it slowly zooms in, but so slowly you don't even notice it. And this character is on the brink of tears, and it's just such a wonderful scene.
Yeah, it's wonderfully written, wonderfully produced, and it's so well restrained.
You can almost feel the northern Italian sun.
Yeah. It's got this immersive quality to it. I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
Particularly, as you said before, like the characters just hanging out. But one of my favorite scenes was probably those two. It's the middle of a busy street. There's cars going past. There's people walking past. And they're just sitting outside this cafe just enjoying a drink.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was there watching them.
Yeah.
It just draws you in, man.
Yeah.
It just draws you in.
Classic people watching, which is what Europe is actually really good for.
Yeah.
My favourite scene was a one-shot take where they both go to a war memorial.
Yeah.
And they sort of both walk around it. There's a big revelation at this point. It's like the tipping point. They come together. The whole time, the camera is just patiently following along as they look at the fence palings and look at the statue, and and it's just so beautifully shot. We could certainly learn a thing or two compared to the wonderful camera work that we have going on here.
They have slightly more money than us, man.
Slightly. It's
Slightly.
An Italian film. It's not like it's not Hollywood. The cinematography is just first class.
It is, man. And you know, a lot of that was actually shot on a single camera, a single 35mm camera.
There you go.
There you go. It comes back to just it being so restrained.
There's no rushing. This movie does clock in at a bit over 2 hours. About 2 hours, 10 minutes.
2 hour 10 or 2 hour 15 or something like that. Yeah.
So it is a bit lengthy, and in terms of actual plot that happens, there probably isn't much. But it's a beautifully patient film.
Not so Hollywood.
Not Hollywood.
You know, not Hollywood at all, and that's what I really love about it. What do you think of the score, the piano score?
I loved the music in the whole thing. So that includes the piano score that you're mentioning. It also includes Sufjan Stevens, who I'm a particular fan of. He made 2 original songs for this, including the final credits scene, which is just absolute showstopper. Even if you happen to work as an usher in a cinema like our director does, just watching that is just worth it alone. But
they were good songs.
Great songs.
Yes.
The piano work I did love as well, though. Patient at points, but really moves the story along in others.
Yeah, it's you're right. It's patient at some points, but I'll slightly disagree with you there and just say that I thought it was too busy at some points throughout the film, and I found it just a little bit distracting.
Right.
Okay. Just a few too many notes, man.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can say a lot more with a handful of notes rather than too many notes. Let the actors do their thing.
Yeah. And when you've got, as you said, Chalamet, Hammer, Stuhlbarg just killing it.
Killing it. What you almost don't need a score to make that work.
I do think that overall the score definitely adds to the film, though.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't think it's as good as it could have been.
Right.
In that respect.
You're a muso, so
I'm biased, man.
I'll lean on your knowledge when it comes to efficiency of music. On Pure Cinema,
yes,
it gets a rating of 67% from our audience. I have a feeling that that's actually probably a pretty fair reflection of Pure Cinema's 4,000 or so people in the audience, because it's a great movie. I think you and I both agree that it's a great movie, but there will be some people that are off-put by this movie in terms of maybe its length. They might find it boring, not Hollywood, as you say.
Yeah.
You know, the Italian parts, it is very Italian in some parts. It's very French in some parts.
Yeah. There's a little bit of subtitles involved. Some people don't like reading.
Some people. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. I just think your audience is crazy. I mean, it's not a DC film or it's not a Marvel film, you know. There's no lightsabers involved.
To be fair, they gave it less than Star Wars Last Jedi and more than Justice League.
It's a great film. I think it's got a brilliant first act and a brilliant third act, and the second act was just, it could have been a little tighter for me. I felt just a couple of scenes, while they're good, they don't tend to push the narrative further forward. There's just a couple of scenes with Elio's girlfriend. I thought, we really didn't probably need 3 or 4 scenes there. I thought we probably could have done it with 1 or 2, you know.
Right.
So a little bit of cutting there would have been good. A couple of distracting moments in the score, but man, I'm going pretty high on this one.
There's flaws in every movie, of course. Like, I haven't seen a perfect film yet.
Yep.
But this movie, I can't think of a lot of ways that I would improve it, and you've mentioned a couple of things there. I probably wouldn't have changed those things. I loved the score. I loved Marcia, who is the girl that young Elio sort of has a thing with.
Yep.
I loved all those scenes. And
nice, but it just kind of drags the pacing down a little bit, I thought. Just a hairline. I'm getting really picky here.
I think you have to be. This is a movie that, above all else, for all of its flaws, it captures the ecstasy not only of young love, in the music, in the cinematography, but it captures the ecstasy of film.
Yeah.
Like this is such like a microcosm of how good film can be.
It should be studied in masterclasses, I think.
It really
personally.
should.
Yeah. Yep. What are you giving it?
5.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to go slightly beneath you, man. 4.5.
Hit your nerve? Okay. Here, hold this. Trust me, I'm about to be a doctor. Hey, come here. See, that's the problem. Too stressed. You just gotta relax a little bit.
I am relaxing.
Marcia, come here for a minute. Back me up here. Feel that. Right there? It's too tight, man. He needs to relax.
Oliver!
Later.
You should relax more.
Okay, guys, ready?
So Timmsy and I both loved Call Me By Your Name, and we give it a 4.75 star rating on average. So that's the best that we've ever given.
Yeah.
In our 5 episodes. Did you love it? If you haven't seen it already, please make sure you go and see it at your local cinema. But if you have, comment below. Let us know what you think.
Absolutely, guys. Until next time, click subscribe and get in focus.
All right. So Timmsy and I both. Sorry.